You've got your visa approved. Now it is time to find your flights and accommodation. Now, I know it might seem daunting looking for flights and accommodation, especially when you're going to be staying here for a long time, knowing what areas to look in, knowing what types of accommodation there are, what's actually a good price as well. But don't worry, I've got you covered and I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks. So first thing I did once my visa was approved was look at flights. So I went on all the usual sites, Skyscanner, cheapflights.com, Kayak. I was coming in April, so to be fair, at the time in April the flights seemed quite expensive. It was probably because we were just coming out of wet season in Bali, so a lot of people come in April, and it was also near the school holidays, so there was a couple of factors in there. But a lot of people do have a couple of tricks. I didn't really find that a lot of them worked that well, to be honest. So I did I put a VPN on, so I looked at it from a different country and went on Google Flight Checker, and the price was no different, to be honest. I kept an eye on them. I had price alerts on as well, and I actually found that I was like, right, I'm just going to book them now. I actually ended up booking directly on the Emirates website. That was the best flight for me, so it was about £900 in total one way. So it actually seems madness how much that was, but I was like, right, it's one major expense, it's getting me here, and that's what's important. So I just sort of bit the bullet and paid for that. You can get cheaper flights, but you're going to be looking at like 2 stops and taking a lot longer. So I flew from Newcastle, went to Dubai, had a 3-hour layover in Dubai, and then came straight to Denpasar, which is the airport in Bali that you'd want to be flying to if you're going to be staying more south. So that's your places if you're going to be staying in like Uluwatu, Canggu, Ubud, which are normally the main areas that people come and stay in. So the main tips are use price comparison sites, use Google Flights as well, and change your VPN to different countries just to compare prices. And also it's important, if you are looking at flights on the web, and this goes for accommodation as well, or any holidays that you're ever booking, just make sure that you clear your cache. You can do this quite easily just in your Google settings, but I can add a little tutorial link in the description for you. So now we're going to talk about accommodation. When I first got here, I met my friend from home because she was travelling, so we stayed with each other for about a week, and then I booked accommodation through Airbnb for about a month just to get me started. In terms of areas, I knew I wanted to be in Canggu because it has really good co-working spaces, great cafes, great internet, and it's very local and there's lots going on, so I thought it'd be a great place to sort of make friends as well. So I booked a homestay through Airbnb. I actually booked it for a month and I regret doing that, and that is because I ended up paying about 1,200 quid English pounds, which I thought, oh, that's not too bad, it's like £300 a week what you'd pay going on holiday, when actually that's expensive for here. But I didn't know that before I came. So a little tip I would probably recommend is, when you're looking on Airbnb and if you find somewhere you want to stay, you can actually, there's an option to message the host or the managers first. So what you could do is message the managers and say, hi, I'm looking to stay here for a couple of weeks. I would happily book through you rather than Airbnb. What's the best deal you can give me? Because Airbnb actually add 30%, up to 30% charge on to the host. So that's why the prices are a bit more expensive on there. Anyway, the only thing that might put people off this is then having to sort of pay, just sending money to for a place that you haven't actually been yet. You're obviously not protected by Airbnb or anything like that if you want to cancel. So a lot of them have cancellation policies as well. So what I'd suggest you do is, if you find somewhere that you like, maybe book through Airbnb for maybe 10 days to 2 weeks or something. Just pay the price for it there. If you like it, then get in touch with the host, because they'll actually WhatsApp you anyway once you've booked it to organise arrival. They offer airport pickup and things like that. So maybe you could say to them, can I extend this, or what is the price you could give me for this amount of time? And that would be a great way to save some money as well. And it also, you don't feel sort of stuck somewhere. If you get to somewhere and you're like, actually, this isn't near the gym I want to go to, I'm actually travelling a lot more to get to places that I'm going to, you might want to find somewhere else. Or you might not like the area you're in and be like, actually, I want to go and try Uluwatu or Ubud or somewhere else. So I don't recommend trying to get somewhere and being just like locked in for like the whole time that you're here, or at least a couple of months or anything. I would try and test the waters first and actually double check that you like it where you are. And also, you tend to find that once you're here and you've made friends and stuff, you might actually get somewhere together. But I can understand from a homestay perspective, It's not like you've got your own villa, there's people coming and going in the different rooms. There's normally only about 3 or 4 rooms in most of them. So it's not like you're in a hostel and there's tons of people coming and going and it's really disruptive. People are generally really respectful of the times and everything like that, because a lot of people are coming here just for a holiday, and you're here to work, so it's a different sort of environment. Another option you could do, if you are worried maybe about coming on your own and making friends and stuff, you could actually go and stay in a hostel but get your own room. There's actually a co-working hostel in Canggu, and there are ones dotted about Bali as well. So you could actually go to a co-working hostel where people are going there to work as well as actually stay there. So you'll probably find like-minded people. You might be able to network. If you're freelancing like me, you might actually get more work out of it. So that could be another option as well as a good way to make friends. There is also lots of groups on Facebook, on like Instagram, or I join into WhatsApp communities where it's literally for girls in Bali, digital nomads in Bali, girls in Canggu, and a lot of them have got subgroups which are specifically for finding places to live. So people might be like, people posting the groups in, hey gals, we've got a room up for rent, it'll be available from this date to this date, and then when you're here you can actually go and view them as well and meet the girls, meet the people you're living with. So there's so many options for you to choose from, as well as if you do make friends and you might be like, oh, let's find somewhere a bit longer term. There is a lot of places that you can actually do monthly rentals with, which is great. And you can find them on Facebook Marketplace, and you're looking for properties to rent. There's loads of Facebook groups, and I'll put all the lists of the Facebook groups that you can join in the description as well. So cost wise, so obviously it depends on the area you're staying in, on how bougie your villa is. If you're staying in a homestay, it just depends on the type of place that you're going to be staying in. But I'm in a really nice homestay at the minute, and it's about £600 a month. And that's kind of average, I'd say. You can get places a lot cheaper, but they might be further out. And if you're, say, not going to rent a scooter, or if you're going to be travelling a lot more into the centres and you want to be more central, then you're going to be looking at the costs being a bit more expensive. We're talking up to like maybe £900 to £1,000 a month. Now for me, obviously that's including all your bills and stuff as well. So for me, it's still cheaper than living in the UK, but you are spending more money in terms of eating out, food shopping, gym memberships are quite expensive here, so you might want to be looking at the lower range, but generally you will find somewhere nice for £600 or less a month. I was in a really nice villa with 2 lovely Aussie girls, but it was just a little bit far out for us from where we wanted to get to, and that was about £570 a month with everything included. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, that's expensive, and I'm like, is it really? Like, literally my rent alone in the northeast of England was £650. Granted, I had a 3-bed house which I was living in myself, but still, like, you've got a pool, you've got these gorgeous villas in lovely locations, you're getting cleaning done, you're getting linen changes, electricity, water changes and everything like that. So there is some really good prices, and it is cheaper, still cheaper to live here than it is in the UK. And I will always stand by that from my experience, because I've been here like 2.5 months now, and I've stayed in a couple of different homestays, a couple of different areas, so that is probably the best way to do it, is to just be prepared to move around a little bit and to find the best place for you. At the end of the day, it's all for where you feel comfortable. This is your experience, this is your journey and your travelling, so just explore, find what's best for you. And I've really explored places. I've always stayed in Canggu, but even if you're wanting to explore like areas like Uluwatu or Ubud, it just depends what you like. So I would just recommend just trying different areas, trying different homestays, and most of the time you can just extend them. Like, this is what I've done with this one that I'm in now. I was even able to say, can I please block this room out till the end of the month, but just pay you in 2 weeks advances? And they were more than happy to do that. You'll find that they're totally chill. There is some places that might be like, no, we need like up front. They would rather have everything up front, which is totally fair enough. But you can sort of ask them to treat it like you would paying rent at home or a mortgage at home, where it is once a month. So the main takeaway is, when you're looking for accommodation, if you're looking on Airbnb, message them first, see if they are happy to do a better deal for you when you first get here, or just pay block out maybe 2 weeks and then discuss with them and extend it every time. Also, you might want to actually go and view places. So a lot of it, even through Airbnb, they will let you go and view a place to stay if you wanted to have a look first, if you wanted to do somewhere more long term, which is really good as well, and I would highly recommend doing that. I haven't had any experiences where I've rocked up to a place I'm staying and it's been completely different to the photos. I have heard of some people that have had experiences like that, so I would still recommend going and looking at places first. It's what I've been doing. So that's the main key takeaways. If you've got any questions, anything, ask me in the comments. I'll happily reply and answer any questions that you've got. And next up, we're going to be talking about the joyful vaccinations, which you absolutely do need. Thanks.